Netflix has recently taken to canceling a lot of shows before their time. Even BoJack Horseman was forced to end before its showrunner wanted it to, and I really do not want that to happen to The Dragon Prince. Any great show that's cancelled before it has the opportunity to reach the end of its journey with its characters is tragic. But losing The Dragon Prince would be particularly despicable because this is a fantasy show. It takes place in a vast and wild and different world. To cancel it would be to deny us the opportunity to see how the rest of that vast world matters in the context of the narrative and the characters and the relationships between these characters. There is so much we have not seen. My main problem with The Dragon Prince, a show I otherwise quite love, is that the pacing is more than a little rushed at times. The show has not taken time to let every emotional beat breathe the way these beats really should have been allowed the chance to breathe, and a major reason for that is that the show has not had the time. As such, the show, if anything, needs more time than the 7 seasons the creators right now have planned for it, not less. You could say I'm just saying that as a fanboy, and I suppose I kind of am, but I'm also saying it as a critic. It would be better for the show artistically if it had more time to allow these situations to develop. Thus, here's my argument for why Netflix should not cancel The Dragon Prince, and why it should instead give The Dragon Prince the opportunity to consider expanding the stories of its characters and its world. Canceling the show would make it much less valuable, even to Netflix, than if the show had the opportunity to run to its planned conclusion. There is a major difference between dramas and comedies in that regard. While both are character-based, especially on television, comedies tend to be about stasis. The characters tend to exhibit the same behaviors over and over again, so humorous situations have the opportunity to keep repeating themselves. But dramas are about dynamics. They're about change. Or at least the hope of change. Characters want themselves, or the world around them, or both, to be different at the end of their journey than at the start of it. That's the whole idea of the journey in the first place. Characters cut off in the middle of that journey are not really better off in any way than if they had never started that journey in the first place. In a comedy show, there is not necessarily any promise, any hope that the characters are going to get somewhere. So when the show is unexpectedly canceled, it hurts, but it does not completely diminish the value of the show. But for dramas, it's quite different. Canceling the show means these characters' journeys are left incomplete. Trying to appreciate a show like this that is only half completed is like trying to appreciate only half of the Mona Lisa, or only half of Michelangelo's David. It's ridiculous. Nickelodeon may have mistreated Avatar: The Last Airbender, and especially Avatar's sequel series, The Legend of Korra, but the prestige those shows attracted still benefited the network. It helped the reputation of Nickelodeon for it to be known as a place for quality, evocative programming, as opposed to just slapdash, half-hour, vapid comedies that are directed only at kids too young to know any better, to understand what quality art is. Avatar and The Legend of Korra proved that animated shows ostensibly targeting children can be as scintillating and complex as any other kind of show, and that really benefited what people thought of when they thought of Nickelodeon. Netflix's image isn't quite as dire as Nickelodeon's was, in terms of people kind of hating it for showing so many vapid shows, but still, Netflix's image is not exactly great, especially in the minds of animation fans. A lot of people have problems with Voltron, Legendary Defender, and while I like that show better than a lot of people, I have my own issues. But still, imagine how much better that show could have been if its creators were not pressured to keep pumping out seasons like they were just robots making cheap toys. Or think of how Netflix canceled Tuca and Birdie, a show from Lisa Hunnewald, one of the major producers of BoJack Horseman. That was a great show, but Netflix canceled it about a month after its only season aired. Ouch. Or think of how Netflix forced BoJack to end early. These decisions pile up is all I'm saying. Keeping the Dragon Prince around for 7 seasons would help repair that image, as well as give the network another great fantasy show to promote. Netflix is chasing fantasy after its success with The Witcher, and it already has this great animated show already airing on its platform. Now, I'm not saying everyone who loves The Witcher would love The Dragon Prince, but what I am saying is that it would definitely help Netflix if it could promise fantasy fans like myself and like a lot of people that it would give fantasy shows a fair shake instead of just ending them unceremoniously. So thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. I really hope Netflix doesn't cancel The Dragon Prince, and I really hope we get a season 4. The show deserves it. It's one of the best and most clever and intelligent fantasy shows on television, and it's only getting better with time. So tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon. I promise you that. Thank you all again. Adios, comrades.